How long it took you to do 7 properties?
18 months.
Whoa.
So we'll have 32 rooms coming to the market this year in Derby, and they're primarily studios.
Bought 7 properties and he's doing them. Come on. Yeah? Ladies and gentlemen, George Ball. Can you give me George a mic, please? Thank you. Yes. All right. George, after you, my friend. How are you? Yeah. George, he's calling himself good looking. George. Okay, so George, for those who don't know you, what do you do? And you've been in property for ages, so.
Yeah, a while, yeah.
Yeah.
So a little bit about my background is I actually came from a background of trading land. So I would secure land on auction contracts or promote them for landowners, get the planning ticket, sweat the asset, and then either sell on or 1 in 3 we would keep. Small developments. My speciality is in Surrey, Berkshire, Hampshire, where I was buying a lot of back gardens. It's a land assembly, so buying 2, 3, 4, 5 gardens in a row, and then sweating the asset and then selling it on.
So we have a couple of developers. I think Shark is a developer as well. So then we met, and I mentioned to you, I said, George, you might have a cash flow problem. Yeah? Which George was like, how do you know I have a cash flow problem? So then I decided, George had already some capital, so we decided to do HMOs. Yeah? So George wanted to do maybe 10 HMOs straight away. And I told him, let's do 1 first and then scale. So how is going so far? George is doing very well.
Yeah, we're doing good. We're doing good. So like you said, we did have a little bit of money to start with. Not a huge amount, but a little bit, okay, which always helps. But just following a system, okay? And once you get that system right, just refine it each time. So I was just speaking to someone on the break and just explaining that where we are now to transaction number 7, each transaction we get a little bit better.
Transaction number 7. How long it took you to do 7 properties?
18 months.
Whoa. And
so we'll have 32 rooms coming to the market this year in Derby, and they're primarily studios.
Bought 7 properties and he's doing them. Come on. Yeah? So, because it takes time to complete in a property. So, we're going to talk to Legion Pedro, they're in Porto. Without the system, it took them 18 months to do a 100 square meter house. Now they're doing 4 at the same time, and it takes them like 4-6 months max with the system. So with the system helps, because otherwise, how would you grow that fast? So you have you've done 7 projects in 18 months. Or
yep. So one of the things we were doing was buying existing HMOs, okay, in Article 4 areas, and a lot of them were falling out of bed because lenders weren't accepting the certificate of lawfulness. So I would go in, get a PLO, get the certificate of lawfulness with my team, increase the rent roll, and then sell it on and trade on. So there's 2 sides to HMOs we're looking at.
Okay, perfect. So for those who want to do multiple projects, what is your advice?
Do one right. No, seriously. So again, and then when you start raising private equity through investors, you've now got a responsibility, right? Now I'm doing this with my own money at the moment, but if I didn't want to go and start raising private money like they teach in these courses without actually getting my feet dirty myself and actually saying, right, I'm going to do this with my own money, because you are going to leave, I don't care what anyone says, don't believe what people are saying on social media, okay? You are going to leave money in your deals, okay?
Did I say that today we leave money in the deals or not? Yeah? So I know most people say no money down. I know that. Glad George. So you have, how many businesses do you have, George?
Businesses?
Yeah, so you have your property, you still have the land?
Yep, still doing land.
So you're still doing land. So you have, how many projects do you have at the moment, current moment?
5.
5 projects current moment. And these are all HMOs?
Correct. 3 HMOs, 2 assisted sales.
2 assisted sales. Okay, perfect. What is next?
I'm still big on income. So, capital's great, okay, and I always want that capital strategy because then I can grow my business with the income side. But yeah, for me, my big why is, see, the capital strategy is very feast or famine, okay? It's not as good as I am at my job that's going to determine it. It's market pending. which scares the life out of me. You know, I'm not, and I want to get to a stage where I want to have children in the next 12 months. And to have children, I know that I'll just carry on working 12, 14-hour days. I just want to get to a level of stability that I can sleep easy at night, and I can have that income, and I know that I can finish work at 3 o'clock. That's pretty much my main goal at the moment.
Shark, you know, George is doing development as well, and that's what I was saying. Shark is a developer as well, and that's what I say. So George, when he came to me, I said to him, he needs to have that stability. Now he's doing pretty well because he needs that stability. So that, what do you need? 10 grand, 15 grand?
Yeah, so the target is £8,333 net, okay? So just to be very, very specific about that, that's £100,000 net, which allows me to, you know, to do everything that I want to do and focus on what the next step could be. You know, I don't know what that is at the moment, but very singular focus on that, and we should hit that in the bank account by March next year. We're looking at all the project completions.
Yeah, so perfect. So, George, we are very proud of you because George joined the course and he was, I need to buy HMOs, and he went and bought HMOs. So,
in the hardest time, you know, like obviously you guys know last year was horrible for buying property, especially Q1. I was just freaking out. I was like, man, I'm not getting any deals. Like,
yeah,
nothing's coming close.
Yeah.
And I was panicking. You know, that panic where you just got to do a deal. No.
And you've done it. So in March, when do you go into replace income?
So I hit my goal.
Already?
Okay. No.
You just need to
so
complete.
March. So when you look at all the completions, so working on the premise that 12 weeks conveyancing, 22-week bill program. Okay. Then we look at refinance 4 weeks. So I've planned the whole year out on our purchases.
Yeah.
So I know at this point, you know, cash flow forecast. I know at this point
Yeah.
we're going to get this.
You
this
get
point
that.
we're going to get that. And that when you're running multiple projects, like you are a bank. Like people think you're a property investor. I've already come to terms with the fact you just are a bank. So you bring the money in, you manage that cash flow, you find the good assets, and it just goes back out. It's just that constant conveyor belt.
Perfect. But that's why we need multiple stream of income. Yeah? So does it make sense? Perfect. George, I wanted to thank you for coming. I have a gift for you because George is doing very well. So George